All right. So, previously on this episode of Longboard Technology, we were working on the Braincleaner. And since then, we've made some minor modifications. We have the Braincleaner, and we have some pretty radical shapes going on here in the foot platforms, on both the heel and the toe. They're definitely asymmetric. There is asymmetric angles on the tip and tail, and we're trying to create a board that you can stand on in multiple locations
and move comfortably.
Yes, to find that sweet spot while you're riding. Mm-hmm. So we've taken it to a ho nubba lebo. And we've introduced some camber into the board.
So if we look, we got this whole thing up about 1/2 inch on this section, and this section's dropped down. So we got camber happening on the macro scale of the whole board, and then in the center we also have
an additional rise.
A micro camber right there.
So our goals here are to, one, provide the ultimate foot platform, but also to alleviate some stress while the wood's being pressed under load, and also to raise the deck height up a little ways from the pavement here in the middle of the board where it's the most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited to see how this multifaceted change in, the central location of the deck is going to affect not only the way the board and the wood is pressed, but also how also how it feels when you're riding it.
So the other feature of this right here is, want to show them?
So when you're pushing, it's nice to have a nice cradled foot pocket for your foot to lock into, so that you're well balanced on one foot while being able to push forward.
And you also want your heel raised just a little bit because it moves your knee and keeps your knee bent.
Which keeps having right over the center of your
having a bent knee allows you to pivot a little bit more actively, which allows you to microsteer a bit better.
And it'll also allow you to easily transition back to your aggressive riding position.
And it also, when your foot's back here, this rise actually comes in and actually helps to cradle your foot in even more. So
we got some pretty radical things going on here with the camber
in the center of the deck.
In the center of the deck.
Yes. I literally chopped the mold in half to make this.
We had 2 presses.
Yeah, and I did that with this one too. This is our freestyle board, and this one was just basically done to shorten it and for ease of storage. So
storage space got a little bit tight.
Yeah.
So the other feature that we have been introducing to this next phase in the Braincleaner project is the Kicktail.
So that's why this is out actually, is we just adopted the same Kicktail from our freeride board, or freestyle, and just superimposed it onto the existing design.
We knew we had a good thing working. We know we have a really good idea of the locations for the end of the Kicktail relative to the
axle
and the
shape.
So we wanted to emulate that here on the Kicktail of the Braincleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done a really good job of creating a simple, rigid form that will press that shape into our next prototype.
Mm-hmm.
So, stay tuned.
Things are looking really good.
We're making minor changes, but we're making extremely good headway on making an extremely awesome skateboard.
Yeah. So the next stage for what we got going here is this here and here is basically pretty much ready to go. but there's probably a tiny bit of tuning left to go there. The tail will need to be fine-tuned, and probably this camber will be figured out what the wood likes and what doesn't. As you can see, I've just left gaps in it so that the wood can kind of do whatever it wants. So I can figure out what the wood likes, and then I can emulate it when it's a little more finalized. And then we also need to figure out what we want for the nose. And after that, we should be ready to make the concrete press.
Just needs a nose job.
Mm-hmm.
Just like so many people out there. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bam! I'm about to show you something that's under a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of stress.
I can't even count how many clamps are on here. There's too many, and I can't even count that high.